Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today I thought I would do a video on sort of a long-term review really of my Goldstar 650. I've had it now for knocking on 11 months. I bought it in October the 4th I think it was last year, 2024. And it's been somewhat of a interesting journey so far. So we'll start off with the not so good points. When I took the bike out for a test ride, I think it'd only done about 10 miles, and I noticed that it was sticking in gear a bit, but I didn't think anything of it. And as it turned out, it was a bike that I eventually got because no one else test rode it. And then as the miles went on, as I went through the running in period, it was intermittent, but I thought perhaps it's just parts of the engine and everything loosening up. Never had a new bike before, even though I've been riding 40 odd years, so I never run a bike in, to be honest. So anyway, I persisted with it, and it had its first service first main service at 1300 miles, and it was still doing it. And on the forums and everything, it was quite apparent that there were a few issues with some bikes. So I've spoken to BSA about it, and my dealer, who's unfortunately since closed. But BSA were great, and they said that they'd swap the engine out, even though it wasn't actually an engine per se issue. But what they do is they just take the engines out, swap them over, and send the dud one back to India and let them sort it out. So I had that engine replaced, and at the same time I had the new remap. Unfortunately, that still didn't solve the problem of the stalling. So went back to Eddie's in, well, not back, I went to Eddie's in Tadcaster. They remapped it for me, and hey presto, the issue was solved. The bike itself is running fantastically well, and I think most people who I either speak to or read about on the forums who've got a Goldstar say the same thing. The remap itself is almost transformational. It changes the fueling to make it a lot more, I guess, user friendly really. Now, in the time that I've had the bike, I've done quite a few mods to it, mainly cosmetic, and I did do a video on that, so if you'd like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below, so that you can have a look at that if you haven't already done so. Very much personal taste of things that I've done to it, as most mods are, certainly cosmetic ones anyway. But the only performance one I've really had done is the shocks. Now, the standard shocks on the rear weren't bad, to be honest. They weren't too bad at all, but I did get the opportunity to get a pair of Hagon 2820s at a ridiculously low price. So I decided to plump for those, and there's no doubting that they are better than the stock ones. So that's the only sort of real performance mod that I've done. But say, do check out the video that I've done, and that'll go through everything else as well. In terms of fuel economy, I'm getting about 70 miles to the gallon. I just filled up actually before this ride, and I calculated it at 72 from my last ride. I don't go tear-arsing about the countryside. I do stick to the speed limits as much as possible. but I do tend to ride in a slightly lower gear than probably most people do, and I never used to, but when I was on my advanced rider test, on the debrief, my examiner advised me that I really should be dropping a gear. It gives you far more torque and far more stability, particularly around the corners. And he's absolutely right, it really does. So what I'd recommend is maybe just try it, see what you think. That's entirely up to you, of course. So what else can I tell you about the bike? In terms of handling, it's really, really good. Now, my previous bike was a Triumph Tiger 1050, which I really loved, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't have got rid of it, except that I was recovering from an operation, and I'd lost a lot of physical strength. Not that I was a particularly strong person anyway, but that's another story. And with the Triumph being quite top heavy, I really wanted something with a lower centre of gravity. Now, this bike fully fueled doesn't weigh much less than the Triumph Tiger, but because the weight is all lower down, it feels so much easier to handle and to ride. In terms of the torque on the bike, it's just fantastic. Nice big 650 single. And the torque really kicks in at around about 3,500 revs. No, sorry, it kicks in around about 35 miles an hour rather. Well, and it pulls all the way through to sort of 75-80 miles an hour. It really is a joy to ride. And at the faster speeds, with a longer wheelbase, it's as if it's on rails. It really does. So if you haven't test ridden one, I would highly recommend that you do. I know there's a lot of noise about the new Bantam and the Scrambler that BSA have brought out recently, and they do look great bikes, and I've had second-hand feedback on people who've test ridden them both, and they both say that they are really, really good bikes. But don't forget the Goldstar. That too is also a really, really good bike. In terms of build quality, it is built to a price. I mean, I paid £5,000 for mine. Well, I swapped it out for the Triumph. And yes, there are some compromises. I rode my bike throughout the winter, and I did cover it with wax oil, and by and large that did its job really well. There were a few pieces of small little bits of rust that appeared over the winter due to the salting of the roads, but they were really minor, which I've managed to resolve quite simply. So this new engine has done 1,750 miles or thereabouts, and I've actually done just over 4,000. I think it's about 4,300 now. So actually, no, that's wrong. What am I talking about? The new engine was swapped out at 1,700 miles. So I've done about 4,500 miles now, so you can work out yourself how many miles I've done on the bike. And apart from the issue of the stalling and the gearing, once they were sorted, it's been an absolute joy to ride. It really has. Always puts a smile on my face. The brakes are fantastic. They're both Brembo brakes, front and back. And I've got heated grips on it, which is one of the things that I forgot to mention, I think, in the video that I did. Oh, I've got a fly in my visor. Lovely. So yeah, do consider the Goldstar. I mean, I haven't ridden any of the Royal Enfields, so I can't really comment on those in terms of a comparison, but there are plenty of sites or web channels, YouTube channels that have. So if you're looking at a Royal Enfield or a Goldstar, you can always go to those to give you a second opinion effectively. So yes, a couple of the things that I'm thinking of doing on the channel in the future. One is that you may have seen, for those of you who have subscribed, first of all, a big thank you. I am a new channel, and it's not easy getting yourself established, so for those of you who have subscribed, I really appreciate it. But I'm thinking of doing a few videos giving advanced rider tips, which are also relevant, or the vast majority of them are relevant for advanced driving tips as well, because we both use the same handbook, which is the Roadcraft, which is the Police Rider's Handbook. I have done a couple already, so if you want to check those out as well, I'll leave a link to the playlist on those below as well. So I'm looking at continuing doing those. Please feel free to put in the comments anything that you might want help with, or any suggestions otherwise. And the other thing I'm wanting to do is I do a lot of my riding in the Yorkshire Dales, and it struck me that as riders we tend to pass through a lot of villages, or pass by them depending, and we never stop to have a look around. And some of the small villages are steeped in history, and they've got some really interesting features, so I thought I might start doing that as well. So again, if you have any suggestions or thoughts about that, please leave a comment below. And with that, I'd just like to thank you once again for watching. It really is very much appreciated. As I say, us small channels need all the help we can get. There's two channels that I would recommend, small ones. That's Vet and Beanie. They're a great duo, bounce off each other really well. And the other one is Artist on a Motorbike, who has some very interesting takes on life. So, and there's another one as well, which is a Bingley Wheeler, which is my mate Dave. We go out a lot together. You may have seen me on some of his videos along with Andy, our fellow traveller, another member of Last of the Summer Wine with an H. So yeah, do check those channels out, and I'd be so grateful if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, I shall wish you a good day, and catch you on the next one.